get a world clock.
Carolyn, did you have
Copy
something
number.
for us?
I just have a grant agreement for the moderate income housing program. There's two originals. Michael Robinson reviewed it and suggested we make a change in paragraph 4 to state that grantee commits to use procedures set forth in the moderate income housing grant application to carry out eligible activities. And KHRC was fine with doing that. They asked me to just to mark up the originals, and so that's what I did.
This is similar to the other ones we've signed like this, when the county just houses the funds in and out.
So I have the narrative of the grant
Okay.
application if you'd like to refer to what the process is, but essentially what we're doing is, well, economic development will take possession of lots. That's part of, we have to have proof of site control, so we'll take possession of it. The participant has to be pre-approved for financing to purchase the property and enter into an agreement with us that they will purchase the property at the completion of construction. They have a choice of 3 different house plans through Housing Opportunities, Inc. That they can customize within ranges. We finance the house through the construction phase, economic development does, and then sell them a finished house. And at that time, the down payment subsidy is applied to the purchase price at closing. And that's where the money will come from KHRC to the County of Stafford. The County of Stafford will write a check that will be applied at closing. So that $170,000 house, they'll be able to purchase, considering that they also have to put $5,000 earnest money down at the beginning of the process. That leaves $140,000 that they have to finance. If they choose to put another $4,000 down, then they've got a full 80%, I mean, well, 20% down payment. And it makes a housing payment that's very comparable to what, for example, they're paying for rent in a moderate income housing project in Maxville. So we have several that are going through some processes of either getting approved for financing or just meeting with the contractor and deciding whether this is what they want to do or not. But so far, no one has definitely signed up, but we've got about 5 that are working through.
And this will be done in what city did you
Any of the
specify? Oh,
cities.
any
It
of
could be,
them. Okay.
as long as we have well, not Reagan and Seward, but we had Maxville, Hudson, St. John, Stafford. I guess that's all. But we had individuals in each of those towns pledge that they would donate lots if someone was willing to build on them. And there is one lot that Economic Development owns outright in Stafford that's available. So, but we did keep it within city limits.
What do you
So this is similar to what we did over at Maxville.
No.
It's
No.
the same program, but very different use of funds, where they just provided funds and we built a house and continue to own it for improving the rental inventory in the county. These houses will be owned outright by individuals.
Okay.
So it's the same moderate income housing program, trying to target workforce housing. It's a different use of funds in that it's encouraging more owner-occupied housing. Part of the benefit of it too is it should help the banks be able to more readily finance continuing development. If there's comps out there on the market that have actually sold, then that
That's what
helps.
I was thinking of a question. So let's say this project gets completed, is the bank involved before the project starts for a comp or their loan value?
Well, we have 2 banks that have said up front that they will finance under this program. So we do have 2 banks that are saying
So as
they
long as you've got
recognize the value of it. Yeah, and the part of it is that they have to be pre-approved for this purchase before we'll actually start construction. and have a letter.
Because I know how
letter
that
from
can
the bank.
go. I mean, you get the house built and it appraises.
Right. Well, there's, hopefully we're getting the pump prime, the pump prime, so to speak. The house in Stafford is the same, one of these house plans. So we have the house in Stafford is a good comp, and it was financed by a bank that probably looked at comps in Lyons and Great Bend, which were also houses built under this program. But hopefully we're getting more of that.
I'm just
established.
curious of what would happen if the house got built, the bank did their appraisal, and it come back lower than what you're anticipating, and the builder's already got 20% invested.
Well, economic development would have 100%.
Well, I
invested,
know. So
essentially.
what happens at that point, I guess?
Well,
I mean,
they are writing letters that say that they will finance these houses, not just the creditworthiness of
Okay.
the individual, but that they will finance this house, or houses built under this program. That's what we're.
I guess that's the only thing that bothers me is there's a lot of different people involved, and who, in the end, who's going to, if it does go south, who at the end is going to be carrying the money? Yeah.
Economic development.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign this grant agreement.
There's both originals that we need to sign in, and they'll send one back to us.
I would second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We need to be able to sign the grant agreement with Kansas Housing Resources Corporation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of February 1st, 2017.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from what date?
February 1st.
February 1st, 2017. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. What is the date today?
Okay.
8.
Sweet.
Though, if you don't mind me.
Oh.
Come on, Kurt, catch up. Times.
I tell you what, I got back from Manhattan late, and I got back from the crossroads.
When you get there, sign back, I can come.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
There's two originals.
I got that one right.
All right, thank you.
Time flies.
You're having fun. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ryan?
Good morning.
Morning.
Got a couple reports due to the state. First is the annual noxious weed eradication report from 2016. This goes through acres, gallons, financials they require. That requires all 3 signatures.
Unless this will eradicate it.
All of it.
Quite a bit showed up this fall, didn't it? I was surprised.
Well, that's in the usual spots.
Yeah.
One bad thing with us is it gets so scattered, I mean, where, a lot of you can just do a broadcast spray in the
Yeah.
pasture and take care of it. Just so scattered, it's easier for me just to go out and dig, treat individual plants and just spend the money or have somebody spend the money on it.
More efficient money wise, too. Takes a lot of time.
the framing up on the building.
I saw that. Looks good.
Phil said that the insulation came in, so they should probably get started pretty good sheet this week. So,
I gotta use that.
Wow. It's good. How many people read this?
Two so far.
Basically, it's
That digests all the numbers.
It's our
Finally,
state
a front page.
specialist up in Manhattan is about the only one.
Probably
that
one
actually
guy,
knows.
yeah.
See if
Do
the
you think he
numbers,
really does do it?
see if the numbers
He
correlate.
does.
I bet you.
He does.
I bet somebody does.
Everybody gets calls if it's something he doesn't like. So.
That's probably his own job.
Well, no, I don't discuss that with you.
Uh-oh.
They, surprised it's got an email that the Kansas Livestock Association had the changes in the noxious weed all reintroduced. And that surprised us, so that was last week, and they had the hearing yesterday, and we were testified against it. Of course, how political stuff is. When we did this, we worked on it for 2 years with KDA to get changes, and we thought introduced it last year, testified for it, passed through Ag Committee. By the time it got done in the full Senate, we were testifying against it because of everything that they added. Yeah. And so then it was eventually dropped. And so now here it goes again.
Back again.
And, yeah, so we went up yesterday, and actually because our association had voted last year at the end to testify against it, even though it goes in as the original that we did, we didn't have time as an association to vote on it, so we are now against it as it goes through. So it's crazy, but so it started again, and someone also introduced a bill to just give you a heads up to introduce wild blackberry as a county option noxious weed, and it makes no sense. I mean, it can be a nuisance, but it's not that difficult to control.
So
And
what
we're
did they-
afraid that if that goes, then here comes Samuel plums, here comes
Mulberries.
Yes. So
Look at in the jelly industry.
Yeah.
They're back off.
I don't want to kill any of that stuff.
We would have our work cut out for us. I make a motion
Yeah, every old one.
to approve the annual noxious weed eradication progress report for 2016.
No second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the noxious weed eradication progress report for 2016. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. So what, did KLA introduce it the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, they introduced it, our original, but it was interesting because the Department of Ag, after last year, all this went through, said they were done with it, unless we supported it, they were not going to put it through. And at the hearing yesterday, it was said that the Kansas Livestock Association introduced it, and so they asked for the people that introduced it to come up first to talk as a proponent. The Department of Ag was the first people to come up. So apparently, they have decided that they don't need us to, yes, to do it, and so that kind of made our president pretty angry, who was sitting there. And so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. But I think it's going to get passed through the committee again. But I think once they open it, it's going to be exactly like last year.
Yeah.
And because the Sierra Club's there, all these the Great Growers Association, everybody's back. And so they tried to get stuff put in last year, so I assume it'll be the same. But who knows? And my second is that our 2017 noxious weed management plan. It's normally not due till June, but it's just easier to sync up with this. It's just an overview of the program and basically the same every year, just kind of change some numbers on acres.
This is what you think you're gonna do as far as.
This is what I think, this is what I consider, this is what our acreages we have in the county.
Oh, right now.
It's a lot of binding.
Yeah.
If you
That
look
all
at
on
that,
Kurt's
you look-
farm.
Yes, all right. I have a
Mainly,
check.
it's mainly in towns, but
Yes, it is. It's mainly
But no, but, I mean, and that's, but you look, with a county of 509,000 acres,
Are we gonna vote yes?
less than one percent. I feel better here than I do, you start heading north and west, and you get into the 50 and 60 and 100,000 acres of land.
Drives through western Kansas, it's just
Or
crazy.
Johnson Grass, you get north of Martin County, Pawnee County, and up in that area, north from there, and the
Yeah.
Johnson Grass is terrible.
What's all these free flowers? Mine.
Well, there's nothing in there about pocket gophers and moles.
No, I don't have to
We
treat
got a
that.
sign.
Yeah, but-
Sure
Need
did.
a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve the Stafford County Knoxville Sweden 2017 management plan.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the 2017 noxious weed management plan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. I knew I could say no, I had it. I might not be able to make one more signature after all this.
Stacks on too.
We just got big in 2017.
But it's just a lot.
A lot of checks.
And I'll be finishing up townships here this month, and we'll hopefully help down at the building here when they guys start working on the insides. And then start the roadside chemical mow in March after our conference. You guys have any questions?
Very good.
I know.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Come on in.
Oh, thought you were coming.
Dawn felt better.
Oh, okay.
She's back. No longer dying.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing, I finally got the hospital nailed down, and we are doing the health fair on April 15th here at the annex. It'll be the one day just like we did last year. So we are working together to bring it back. And then we have started the application progress for state fiscal year 2018. And we're ready to better match what we're doing. So, got a lot of guidance on that. We have a lot of trainings coming up. There's a tabletop for emergency preparedness on the 24th. I think there's going to be some, like several different agencies we're going to come about it at the OABC meeting. And then I have a lot of other trainings coming up. And you guys asked for statistics. For you.
You need it?
No.
How does that compare? Is this your first full year or
Yeah.
partial? First full.
Virtual year.
How did these compare to 2015? Because it's not in the.
Could not
Running
find it.
total. Okay.
So I'm still looking to
I'm
see
just
if I can
curious.
find in the documents where it has it.
Basically, this total here is these totals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like we've been pretty steady compared to last year.
What do you think the drop? I mean, there's over 2,700. I don't know, patients or what this. What do you think
Encounters.
Okay.
People not showing up to their appointments is really
Okay.
what we're seeing is the drop. Like people have them scheduled for their family things or they're not going to get their contraceptive and they're not showing up. Same with WIC. So I was looking at that today and with the loan has an 18% no-show rate just for January.
Oh,
So we're
really?
going back through and seeing how we can get them to show up for their checks. So, it's just the clientele we work with, we don't have to come.
They get a benefit
Even
out
though
of
they
it.
get something.
Yeah, checks.
That's hard to believe they didn't show up for that.
Sometimes it's miscommunication due to their phone number changing every month or maybe their address changing. Other times it's just here. I do feel like we have less flu shot people this year. I don't know if it's because we didn't do them this, but I felt like we didn't have near as many people shot this year.
It is surprising, a little low. I mean, it's 704. Now you include Pneumovax along with the flu.
No, not really.
No.
Mainly just
Mhm.
especially counted it was just the flu this year. I know I have a lot left over, so we're gonna order less for next year. Because when you can run through Walmart or Walgreens, it kind of
It probably hurts.
Yeah.
It is amazing, I would call this a census number, I guess, but your income levels seem to be in the range of the last 4 years, 5 years.
The only thing I can say with the income is it's been quite a learning curve. I don't have an accounting background at all. Put that out there. I can tell you your rash.
So do you,
But the income and the accounting and the billing have been quite a learning curve for me. And
who in your building or department does that,
It's me,
okay.
yeah.
Do we need to get some help for that, to learn that? Because that's something I think is very important to me. I mean, once you fall behind, it's very hard to get.
I'm not.
I mean, once you start the hole, it's hard to get it filled and covered up.
I'm feeling very overwhelmed by the whole billing. It's like you have to learn the CPT code and they change. So like for the
So
first 2 months
you can
last
find-
year, we didn't even have, I couldn't bill out all my immunizations because I didn't know the CPT code changed. It was one number different. Found that out, Blue Cross City helped me out and we found where it was that we couldn't bill. And so I was able to bill those and most of those come back. Now, the depots are coming back and they're paying 36 cents on our $30 charge. And so she came in and helped me again when she said that our system switched it, so they're only paying per milliliter opposed to 150 milliliters. So like, these are things that I see and I know they're an issue, but because I'm keeping up with all the other programs, that I don't feel like I'm giving them adequate attention to accounting and to the billing. So I would love help. I just don't know how to think about that. At one point, we were talking with Tom County about like getting a biller between several of us to try to help us out. That fell through, the grant fell through. It was in the talks instead.
And how many people are qualified to do that too, yeah?
Well, I think there's,
And I don't
I've got one person in mind, that's probably part-time at the hospital. I think it's something we probably could look into.
Okay. And it wouldn't need to be a full-time position, we don't see that level.
Right.
I mean, but somebody like that.
I think just for checks and balances, I'd like to seek help for, just to kind of get everybody on the right track and over, the EMS and the health department. So we know, because that is a job. I mean, and it's very important that we keep up on that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That is not my strong suit, like it was. Okay. Do I just need to?
I'll work on that here. I think, like,
Yeah. Does it have to be certified?
I don't know.
Are you certified?
No.
No, seriously?
or bond, I mean, is that a bond issue?
We would probably bond whoever you have.
Has Janice always done that in the past when she was legal?
Doris did it.
Doris did it, but
Doris
she
did it
had a
herself.
accounting background.
Right.
So like that
Right.
kind of, like that helps a lot.
Right.
So Doris did it all,
But Janice never helped her with that part of it?
no,
Okay,
not at all.
all right.
And it is something to work with.
And I think once somebody would help you get lined out, it should, I mean, I think it would be relatively, not easy to do, but relatively quick to do, and they can kind of help look at it once a month or something and keep it on the right track.
Yeah, because coding is an issue.
Yeah.
And-
And
But you would think that they would alert you saying, okay,
It's not really
This-
changing.
this number's changed.
And when Doris came back, we went through it, and I'm like, Doris, and I told her several times when this first started last year, this isn't going through, what am I doing wrong? And she walked me through it, and she said, I don't know. So when the Blue Cross lady came through to do her spill, I was like, what am I doing wrong? And she's like, well, that code expired at January 1, and that's why you can't build it any longer. And so it was just, we dropped off the one and only allowed the other two. And if you don't go to billing meetings every month, or, you know, have a touch in there, then you don't get to hear those.
So is this a state agency that's doing this, or
Insurance.
insurance? So all the commercial carriers, Medicare and Medicaid.
We can work on that.
If any other questions?
That's, no? So everything else is going good?
I think so. I'll probably do that stuff later to show grant applications working, because I did March. Other than that.
Very good.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you. Put these back. We did it.
Is Robert out there?
No?
We'll recess. Mike, have you heard anything from your attorney?
No, following the last meeting we had, I sent a letter to AJ Schwartz. Then I followed it up with a letter. I spoke to his secretary, who happened to just answer the phone, I thought was going to bother. But anyway, she said he and the other attorney were in and out until last Friday. So then she was going to relay the message. I still hadn't seen anything, so I sent another letter. So there's been 2 letters and a phone call. When I get done here, I'll run back downstairs and call again and see if I can. But I spoke to Nita and she said we do now have the bylaws.
Yes.
I emailed it to you.
Yeah. So I think I'm still waiting on a contract between the board member and that's.
Found it interesting on the bylaws that each commissioner gets to appoint 2 delegates to the, and 1 at large. I forgot that if I was aware of it before.
Well, same with Economic Development Board. There's supposed to be 2 from each district and then 1 at large.
The way it states it in the bylaws, I mean, it sounds like each commissioner picks 2. I mean, the way it's stated, not so much that all of us get together and vote on it. It's like, you pick 2, you pick 2.
From the recommendation of the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here he is. Here he is. Come on in.
Hello.
We're-
Sorry I'm late. I was doing another daycare inspection on my way up. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Were you able to find anything?
Last one I could find was 1997.
And see, we couldn't find anything, you know.
Go get it.
No, I mean, that's, did you, I sent you an email just a little bit ago to, I hope you got it, on there. So, just came in to visit with you folks about, you know, what's going on. And then, I know Stephanie just emailed me a report on what she had done with this here. What, I guess, what's Stafford County looking at doing? Are they looking at pulling out? Are they?
It depends if the line of, I guess in my opinion, it depends if the line of communication is going to improve.
Well,
I mean, if we can't get phone calls returned and our departments throughout the county can't, you know, when they've got grants and funding they're trying to do and can't get nobody to return a phone call, yeah, we're going to leave. But I mean, if that's fixed.
And I think it's a communication that is, I take full responsibility for it. Okay, I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. When he said, you know, I've been here 6 years now. This year's been a rough year, which doesn't mean anything to anybody. You know, if Stafford pulls out, you're going to see CKLEPG just pull. I mean, we're running on such a tight budget now. The one county is going to make a difference, and we've been talking about that for many years now on that part of it.
Did you have a couple other counties though that signed up that are new?
That we have 2 counties that are looking to join our coalition. They haven't made that decision yet. It's going to be Kiowa County and, no, not Kiowa, Hodgman County and Lane County. So they're going to be out towards our Edwards and northwest part of it. The the southeast or southwest LEPG, they had 9 counties. Their representative, just like myself, took a job with the state. They haven't been able to fill anybody in there. So Hodgman County approached us. Lane County has now approached us. So we're trying to work that out with them. They are in the process now of hiring. There was 9 counties there. The other 7 counties are looking at hiring somebody in that area. And they want to base them at I don't know all the counties out there, but I want to say it's Finney County is what they're looking to base that person out of. Which, if we were to take all those counties over, then we would definitely need to hire one more person. But that's.
Well, if that's the case, why would you make the statement that if you don't have Stafford County, you're full up?
Because we don't have them aboard yet. I mean, we don't have them, they're not obligated to us, or not obligated, but, you know, they haven't committed to us yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. As of right now, if Stafford pulls out, then you'll see the coalition fold. And I say that, and I'm not trying to make a threat, I'm just, the situation is very serious.
What percent of your total workload would be Stafford County?
Well, that's kind of what I broke out here. Stafford County is my busiest county.
Really?
Yeah. Stafford County is my busiest county. And like I say, my numbers have kind of changed, and for like the 17 right now, just since January, that is what we've kind of issued now. Those numbers have just changed because it's just issued. We've got 2 more water well permits, and we issued 2 pumper permits for a gentleman called, he's at a Pratt County who wants to come up in the area and start pumping septic systems. So we just issued more permits for that as well. So visiting with Christine over there, I talked to her, continue to talk to her again this morning, sent her over some reports this morning. And I asked her this morning, as of right now, do we have anything outstanding for 2016? She said she did not, and that she would get back to me because I wanted to know how many cost shares we did in 2016, just to make sure. Stephanie and the other board members have asked me to start tracking things a little differently on the cost share. because they're wanting to know if Stafford County does 6 of them, then we want to make sure that all 6 of those are turned in a timely manner on that. Part of my problem is, and part of my problem with the way we've been doing it is when I get a permit, I may not know what's a cost share. We complete it, I file it, and then I'll get the call from Christie saying, hey, we need this final. So it's already been filed, and I have to go through and find it, which isn't a big issue. So, like I say, there's the ball. I dropped the ball this year. I'm not going to say I did. So
That's the main thing, I think, man, we've gotta have communication between you and Christie, or
And-
you know, or
well, and it won't on that part of it. Now I have to tell, I talked with Christy today too. When this all started, I called Christy immediately and I asked her to send me an email down on all the outstanding jobs that we had. She sent me a list of the 4 that she needed. Well, there was a 5th one out there that was done in 2016. But, so I only got part of it, I didn't get all of it. So I called her back and I said, what about the co-op down in Seward? And she says, oh, well, that was cost share too. Well, but I didn't get the full, so it's done, it's taken care of, she has it now. So like I say, it's just, I think it's a communication problem. I think we've got it hopefully taken care of.
I would agree, yeah.
So,
If you
and like I say, my board has been, well, and that's the other thing we need to talk about too, is appointing another board member. If you guys would like Christina to join the board, I mean, you can nominate her or appoint her if that's what her and her board want to do. If one of you folks want to join the board, I have a county commissioner, Steve Boxberger from Russell's on our board. And then we have two soil conservation, what Stephanie does, soil conservation, what Christina does. There's 2 in there. We had Harry, which I consider a contractor, on that part of it. And then that's about it right now. So, but I just wanted to give you guys a lowdown on 2016 with everything that we did. The numbers changed a little bit from 16 to 15. Our hours are pretty close to the same there. It works out to be about $5 an hour with our contribution, or with the county contributions. That's in there. This year, normally, November, December, January, it's cold, we're not doing a whole lot, but we're busy right now. I mean, I got one septic system going in right up the road, on 50 here, and I plan on doing two more inspections today on water wells that have just been drilled, and we just issued 2 more water well permits yesterday. So, Stafford County's, again, busy. And I think Stafford County, most of the contractors in the area know that they have to have permits, so it's a positive for us because a lot of them aren't doing anything unless they get the permit. So I've got some counties, Ness County's horrible at it. I think it's because they're so far out, they'll call us and say, hey, the job's done, can you come inspect it? We never permitted it, So yeah, sure, we'll be happy to come out and inspect it. So that's, kind of, we're trying to correct some of those issues there.
You don't have any counties east of Stafford County, do you? For your east.
No, I got Stafford, Edwards, Pawnee, then we have Rush, Ness, and then Russell.
Yeah, Russell.
So, but we don't have anything east right now.
And the 2 that you're talking about are Lane and
I have to look, I'm sorry. Yeah, because we have Hodgman is one, Jetmore area, and then Lane and Dayton area. Because we have Ness now, and then we can tie Hodgman into our Edwards and Pawnee, Rush, and then our Ness.
If those 2 did sign up, is that how are you gonna be able to service?
If they sign up, we talked about hiring somebody part-time. And if that meant somebody part-time in the office, to stay there and then have me out in the field all the time, which either way, would be okay. Now, visiting with Hodgman and Lane, they don't issue a lot of permits there. I think that's kind of one of the reasons that, meaning yes, if we take them on, our workload's not gonna increase by a whole lot. Like I say, the further west we go, it seems like our permits, our numbers drop, and I think a lot of it's because the population's just not there. When you get out towards Ness, and if I head west of Ness, it's like it goes, there's not too many homes out there. So now, if they join the coalition, that'll help the county fees or county contributions and everything else. We're not, we're running on a shoestring budget now. I mean, I don't know, like I say, in 5 years, well, in 6 years I've been there, I've taken one pay raise, we've denied the rest, because we just don't have it, it's not there. We're running, like I say, we're running on a shoestring budget. And we're willing to do that. I mean, I think that's what we're hoping to do. We're just trying to stay afloat, is what we're trying to do.
What is the county's contribution right now?
Yours is 63. I don't have it with me. Yeah, yours is like 60.
63.94.
64.
And you're not the highest. You're actually, I think, the third. We got Pawnee County. Which, how we did it on I think it was a $4,000 base, and then we did it we went off the census, and then did it so much cents per person on the census. It was 63.95. Now, do we, back to the request that you guys asked for on, our contract. Really not a contract. Do we need to draw something up? Do you want us to draw something up? There's something out there, but I mean, nobody can really find it. And part of my problem is Dan, the gentleman that I replaced. I don't know if he already passed away last year. So he was always my to-go-to guy. Hey Dan, where's this at? And he had everything filed there. Well, since we moved the office, we packed up a 15-year office or however long it was, and moved it. So things aren't exactly where they were.
That was in Great Bend?
No, our office
No, I mean,
in La Crosse.
the former, where you moved from.
No, we moved, well, since I've been here, we've always been in La Crosse. And I think Dan was there, I've been here 6 years now, and I think Dan was there 10 years prior to me taking his place. So I think they were in La Crosse 15 years before they moved. We were in Great Bend, but that was way before my time, so I don't know.
I got my permit from somebody in Great Bend.
Well, how long ago was it?
15 years ago.
So it might have been right during that coalition, because we were in Great Bend.
Okay.
We were in Great Bend, and then, there was a fallout there with one of the employees, and they went over and took Great Bend and started their own deal over there, so they pulled out of the coalition,
Okay.
and then we moved to La Crosse, or CKLEPG moved to La Crosse. That's kind of the history of it. That I know about.
So we don't really know if there is any contract right now?
Well, I think the contract that Dan always told me that all the counties had was, if you wanted to pull out of the coalition, we needed to know by April. Is what I guess the way I understand it is, if we do that, then in April you tell us you folks don't want to be part of the coalition, then we won't come to you on budgeting in that May and June. Now, what we budgeted for, what we requested last year, May and June of last year, that will go and get us through the year so that we can help with the transition and everything else that we need to do. If that's, what you folks decide to do. But, and that's just kind of what I've been reading with some of the other LEPs, is that's kind of how they had their setup too. And I think when everybody kind of formed, all their areas, it was kind of that same way. The contract you find, did it say anything like that, or?
I don't remember. Let me go get it.
But, like I say, if, we'd love for you guys to appoint somebody, if one of you want to join it.
We'd probably find somebody.
I think if it do stay, I do believe there needs to be something in writing
Yeah.
on
I would like to.
expectations and everything outlined to.
And I think that's great, so.
basically, we probably got till April to make that decision, I would think.
And I would hope, and like I said, I would hope you folks would say. Yeah, I mean, I've been here, like I said, December of last year was 6 years. And I don't think we've had,
I could find.
I don't think we've had a whole lot of complaints in 6 years. And then,
Well, that's a great name.
It was dated in 1993 and it was for 4 years. So it expired in 1997. I can't find anything else.
Sharon Falk was the representative there.
But if it's a 4-year contract, then they're agreeing to be in for 4 years then, or?
That's what it says. There's a.
Warren Charles. Well, to be fair, and I'm basing my information off what, other people have said. We need to go back and visit with some of those people and see if they think the lines of communication can improve.
okay,
Or,
like I said, I've been really patient with Christina down there. I told her, I would call her, if I don't see her, that I would call her at least once a week, once a month, and just make sure that there's nothing else that she's waiting on. And as of this morning, getting her that last one for the co-op, I think I asked her some questions this morning on how many that we did for 2016, because I just want to make sure that every one of them are completed. And then I asked her if she had any cost share available left, because there's some systems that, when that cost share, I know that's available, I send folks to her. But, I was under the assumption that she had said that we were out of cost share, and then this morning she said that she had something to go back out of something, so she might have a little bit of funding left. And if we don't use it, we lose it.
right. And I would agree that if we do go with you again, we need to have an up-to-date contract.
Yeah, and like I said, I just, I guess I assume, which, what that does for me, but that we've just always had one.
I don't think we need to be in any big two, though. Just
Well, I think we're committed. I mean, if that's truly the way the outline is, and we approved their 2017 money, I think we should at least allow that distribution and stay with them through 2017, and then we get a contract drawn up like it used to, or should be.
Yeah.
If we're gonna make a decision to terminate the agreement, then we do that in plenty of time ahead of the 2018 budget planning session.
And hopefully the lines of communication in the meantime work out well.
Well, and I'll make sure it works out.
I mean,
All right.
I will,
I
that's
think,
a,
I think because we agreed,
I do too.
Clay,
I agree.
do you,
I,
on a contract, if you folks decide to stay and we want to draw up a contract,
I think we should use this for a guideline, because that's all we've
thank
got.
you.
Don't you, Mike? I mean, Mike can look at it, but there's a lot of information in there for both parties.
so do you have a copy of this? No.
We couldn't find anything. And like I
We'll
said,
make a copy again.
we
Yeah.
couldn't find anything.
And we can change it, negotiate it.
This is 93.
She said it was dated for 4 years.
97, that's 10 years. It expired 10 years ago. Now there is a lack of communication, I think.
And part of that's my fault with you folks too, because I only come down and talk to you once or twice a year. And that's, if we want to do a quarterly visit, I'd be happy to come and visit you. So,
Well, I don't know that that's necessary to come visit with us, because we're not the ones that are
Well,
you know,
you are the
working.
ones, you're the ones getting the complaints.
Well, we hear about it,
So, and
but-
that's where I'm at.
or we
So-
heard about this issue, you know, and I guess that's why we started asking a lot of questions and,
Well, and like I
you know,
said,
trying to demand a few answers of what we go forward with, you know, and you know, open-minded communication to me that's vital. That's vital for anything the county's associated with. And you know, if we, once the, you know, soil conservation came to us, we didn't know nothing about it, you know.
Even if the line of communication wasn't good with Christina, I would certainly make sure that you visited with the Soil Conservation Board
And
chairman.
okay,
or
I
even
think-
go to
I
one
think
of their
s-
board meetings.
And
so-
that might be something that I
That,
need
now,
to do.
there's where
Yeah.
maybe you ought to go to their board meetings rather than make that connection with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I would advise that, keep that line of communication open too.
Okay. So I'd be happy to do that.
All right.
So I don't know what their programs entail. I mean, they might have questions about stuff too. I mean, I don't
Okay,
know.
well, that's a great idea, a great suggestion. I will meet with Christina before I leave town and ask her when her next meeting is.
Our information's coming from them, so that's the ones you ought to communicate with.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I will do that then. So, I'm sorry I was late. Like I said, I was doing a daycare inspection or foster care inspection for Rita down the road here, so. Did you get that email from me? Okay. Stephanie sent me an email on the report. She was gonna get back to you folks on the calls that she had made. And I just emailed that over, so if you can print that off, or you can go do that with you. Well, I thank you for your time.
Sometime, like when you come back in May or next budget season, I would kind of like to see a summary of the other counties on like
Yeah.
this
Oh,
hours.
that's simple and easy. I can do that.
I mean,
No,
not,
that's
not to be
simple.
nosy, but just to see kind of
No.
where.
And what I'll do is I'll bring
Where we
down a
stand.
breakout on each one of the contributions
It'd be neat to see.
and what we're doing. So,
I would think mainly the work hours be spent in each county too.
yeah, so we'll do just something similar to
Similar to
this,
this, yeah.
and then I'll do the county contribution so you can see it. And that's something maybe I should do with all the counties, you know?
I would
just,
think so.
you know, just I've never been asked to do it. But I will take care of that. Any other questions?
I don't have any.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Was it gonna send him a copy of that, Nita, or?
Then you can.
I
email
emailed
that to
you.
me. Oh, you can email it to me.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I don't know if them old papers will.
You think, is that, Mike, is that something that we can go off of and just tweak it a little bit, or?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
These things all same players.
Okay.
I don't
It
know.
makes me wonder though, Barton County's not in there.
Yeah.
That's why that was gonna be my question, well, I mean,
Yeah, Barton County's no longer in the coalition. There's just 6 counties there now, so.
there's 8 listed here.
There's 8 listed there.
Barton, Edwards, Ellis,
We don't have Ellis or Barton.
Ness, Pawnee, Rush, Russell, and Stafford.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know we used to have. Yeah, I learned something new today.
So, yeah.
Anyways, if you folks have any questions, you have any numbers, please.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and make that distribution?
I mean, so kind of already,
You're gonna decide before budget time.
Yes.
what, if we're gonna make a change or not.
It'll be 2 weeks before I can do a distribution for next.
Sorry we're late.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh, it's fine.
I would move that we go into executive session for 15 minutes for non-elected personnel.
I'd second that.
There
Who do you want?
Mike, Commissioners, Anita, missed it in that meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You guys have anything else?
I don't.
I don't.
Mike, do you have anything you want?
I'll,
Let us know if you're in correspondence.
do you want me to start drafting something?
Or do you want to talk to your soil conservation board first?
I would like to get the input from Christina and the Soil Conservation Board.
Okay. Then I will, if you will make me a copy
Yeah.
along with him.
That's what you think of, just put them on the
Yeah.
agenda sometime.
Well, yeah.
If you're not gonna go with them, why, we don't need,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, except we don't have to do till April or May.
Yeah, I know. I don't see if there's any big toot about it now. We're gonna pay them anyway, so. Anything else?
I don't have any.
Okay, we'll adjourn.